show that's breaking all the rules. Started out from VA and now we on the move. From local to global, cause we got something to prove. We came from the bottom, now we at the tippy top. To hold it down for our people, cause we all we got. It's a cold, cold world, but we keeping it hot. With our future on the line, ain't no time to stop. All work over here, still we having fun. Yeah, we say it like it is, ain't no holding our tongue. Go get us on the team, yeah, we getting it done. And shout out to Travell, yo, you number one. It started with a dream that turned into a vision. Now educated new generations is our mission. Ears to the streets, yeah, we steady politicking. If it ain't about the change, mind your business.
Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. Wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. We top picks like we all up on the gram with it. Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. We top picks like we all up on the gram with it.
You're now tuned into another episode of Wait Again Minute podcast. I am Gam, and of course, I got my sidekick, my co-host,
Miss Go Getter.
And tonight, y'all, it's gonna be we're gonna have a real transparent episode tonight. First thing I need you guys to do is share this episode. Miss Go Getter, you got anything you want to say before we get started?
No. Was
We
I
love
supposed to say
you
something?
too.
Did I say I was gonna say something?
I'm sure
can't
you.
remember.
I'm sure you probably said you didn't say
I-
you were going to say anything.
Yeah, I'm sure I did. And then sometimes when I do say I'm gonna say something, I forget it anyway. Cause I have to say stuff like right then when I think of it.
Oh, that's absolutely true.
Cause I don't know. Anyway, no.
You got nothing to say? Speak down forever, hold your peace. Okay, I know you ain't got nothing to say, but I was just messing with you anyway. So tonight we're basically going to be talking about something that's near and dear to me that I'm dealing with on a day-to-day basis, and it's about anxiety as well as depression and PTSD.
So you saying you deal with all that on a daily?
I do.
Now, okay, are you self-diagnosing?
No.
Okay.
Come on now. I wouldn't be
I don't
doing
know
that.
because some people are like,
No.
"Oh, I'm depressed," but they won't.
No, not at all. No, I'm definitely not self-diagnosing anything. I'm just I'm speaking facts, and I'm being transparent about some things that I have dealt with. And I think a lot of times people don't speak about it because of,
They feeling
being
uncomfortable or being
feeling uncomfortable or feel like you're
talked
being
about or
judged
Yeah.
or something like that. So I think it's time that I be transparent with everybody else because I'm real with me, you know. So but yeah, so what I'm dealing with is
Okay, let's start from the beginning.
okay.
Okay, so I know you say you want to be transparent and you named 3 different things that are usually diagnosed.
Right.
So have you been officially diagnosed?
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay. So you go to a therapist or you was diagnosed by a psychiatrist or
A psychiatrist.
okay.
And yeah, a psychiatrist, yeah. So I was going to therapy. And therapy was cool, it was working, but I felt like I needed something else to go along with therapy. So, they prescribed me some medication. Now, the first medication they prescribed me, I was like, oh no, it's too much going on. Like I can't even, I can't even process it. So
What you mean you couldn't process it? Like what
meaning,
was it doing?
you know how you hear people say like, oh, I felt like a zombie.
Oh.
Or I felt like, to be honest, I was riding down 58 and I felt like I was going to jump out the car because it was like, I was just trying to get away, like from the meds. I felt like that was going to, like I was going to throw up or to try to get it out of my system.
So let me get this straight. So you were saying even with the medication, so the first type of medication they gave you,
Right.
you felt like you was about to jump out the car. So that medication was like giving you that side effect.
Yeah, it was making me I was feeling different. I wasn't feeling like myself.
Okay.
So when I wasn't feeling like myself, I didn't know what to do. So I felt like if I throw up, if I use the bathroom, if I jump out the car, like I just didn't know. I just know that the feeling that I had, I didn't like it.
Okay.
So she was like, okay, well, we're gonna try you on something else. So she said, well, no, to take half of it. I said, no, ma'am. I'm not taking any of it.
Oh, take half of the pill.
Half of the pill. She said, maybe
Mhm.
we're too strong. I said, no, ma'am. I'm not taking any more of it.
So what she say then?
She said, well, okay. She said, well, let me try you on something else. And that's what they do. They try you on different things to see what works for you,
Right,
because
right, right.
I just know that I didn't want anything that I can become addictive or had a bunch of side effects to it. So I was just like, look, okay, what we're not gonna do is I'm not gonna be a guinea pig.
Right.
But I need you to find me something that
Mhm.
works for me.
Mhm.
And so we did.
Okay.
She found me something and she prescribed it, and I
Mhm.
actually like it. She upped the dosage down though, but I actually like it because it keeps me from going off too on
What you
people.
mean?
Like, you know, it kind of like calms me.
Oh, okay.
And it's so crazy because I could be like on edge or feeling like
Mhm.
if I ain't had this mess, I would be on edge. Like I would be I would just, but it calms me. It's like I can't even react the way if I wanted to.
So is it something that you had to take daily to keep you calm?
Yes, I take it twice a day.
Twice a day.
Twice a day.
So why did she give it to you twice a day? Why can't it just be like a med that lasts for 24 hours?
Well, different strokes for different folks.
Mhm.
I'm on two different medications, right?
Okay.
One of them is once a day. The other one is twice a day.
So let me ask you this. So when you first went to the therapist, you went to the therapist because did you go to the therapist just because you felt you needed a therapist or someone to talk to? Or did you go to the therapist because you knew something won't quite right?
Um, Actually, I went to the therapist because my primary care. I was telling my primary
Mhm.
care how I was feeling, and to be honest,
Mhm.
I know that it started when I was turning 45. Right
Okay.
when I was 44 and I was about to turn 45, I was like, oh my god, like I have less years ahead.
Oh
So it's
yeah.
like oh my god, like what am I gonna do? And you don't
Yeah.
think about it when you are, you're in
Yeah.
your 30s and you're in your
That's true.
20s.
That's true.
So I'm like, okay, so I was dreading turning 45.
So
So,
where did the anxiety and the depression, the PTSD came from you turning 45?
hmm
How old are you now?
45. But I'll be
So
46. So I'm
and and I can understand that too because you know, I think that well, I'm not going to say that it's normal, but I think that's common.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't diagnosed with anything. I just said that I was having anxiety myself.
right.
But the doctor or my therapist didn't tell me I was having anxiety. So I don't know. But to me, I'm thinking it's anxiety, but it's not. Well, I do know it's not that bad where I need medication
hmm
because it'd be like a quick little thoughts or just something that you try to like I can feel. To me, it's more like a nervousness.
Right.
It's more like a sense of nervousness. And I can understand when you said when you was turning 45 because I be thinking that too, like, oh my God, like, okay, now I'm 40, now I'm 45, now I'm 50, then I'll be 50. And I'm like, and then the years going by so fast. So
Right.
tomorrow I'll be 55.
Right.
And
The
then the
years
day
going
after
by like
that,
weeks.
I'll be, you know what I'm saying?
hmm
So it's almost you talking about the days going like weeks. No, they're going by like years. Cause my tomorrow is like almost like 5 years.
Right.
And so I can see, you know, that what you're saying in reference to you was feeling a sense of nervousness because you was getting older. Because it do start making you think like
Right.
because when you were a child, you're like, oh Lord, I can't wait till I turn 16. Oh,
hmm
I can't wait till I turn
Trust
18.
me, you're gonna want to
Oh, I
wait.
can't wait till I turn 21, 25.
Yeah.
And I did that myself. But when I turned 25, I did not say I can't wait till I turn 30
Yeah, I
because it
didn't
seemed like I
either.
turned 25 and next thing I know, in 2 years, I was 50. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Not 2 years, Miss
yeah.
Go Getter.
Yeah, in 2 years, it was like I was 50. And it's like, well, damn, what happened? Then, because it's like, even now, I think about stuff and I'd be like, oh, yeah, I did that or I went there. Oh, yeah, I bought that shirt. Like, I have a shirt that I saw in my closet the other day. And I was like, oh, I had that shirt. How long I had that shirt? And then I saw a memory come up on my Facebook
hmm
that said 2010. And I'm
Wow.
like, oh. And every time I see something that has a year count, I always count back to how old was I then? Then I'm like, oh my God, I was just such and such. I remember that. So yeah, I can get it because now it's like, oh my goodness, now I'm such and such age. Then I'll be this age. Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah,
oh, it's about to stress me out right
yeah,
now.
it is. But when
Yeah.
I
So
when I
I can get
talked
it.
to the when I talked to my primary care, she
Mm-hmm.
said that that is kind of normal. Like
Okay.
people think about, things different when they start getting older.
Yeah.
And it's like she said, but in your case, in your mind, you're the only person. So,
Yeah.
and when you're going through such things, it's just you feel like it's just you.
Yeah.
So, so I start getting anxiety to where I start having panic attacks.
Oh.
So
Oh wow.
when I had panic attacks, it's like it's the worst. Like it feel like you can't breathe. You feel like you're not getting enough air. It just feel like basically for me, I can speak for me.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like air is seeping in from my feet and just like going up, like I'm filling up with air, and I can't. I'm suffocating basically. So it's a very scary feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So when I've had panic attacks, I've had them mostly at night in my sleep. So I'm
Did
sleep.
she? Okay. So did she ask you when you told her that?
Hmm.
Did she give you like one? Did she give you techniques on how to bring yourself out of that thought? Two, did she tell you a reason on why it might be at night or what to do when it
Um,
happens like that at night and you're asleep?
she did ask me, to think back or either write down if I could remember like what was I thinking about, what did I watch before I went to sleep. So that's why
Mhm.
I watch cartoons before I go to sleep. I don't get on social media before I go to sleep because on social media you see a lot of this person died, that person died, or this, that, and the third. So I try not to get on social
I don't
media.
know, cause you and the Fly Posse, y'all see everything, y'all follow
No, but
everybody.
not
I don't
at
see all
night,
that.
not like at night. Like,
Hmm.
I'm just speaking
Yeah.
for me. But so but I couldn't remember like what was going on in my sleep. But subconsciously, my mind is still wondering. Like even though I'm asleep, and most of us are,
Hmm.
we're asleep, but our mind is still wondering what we gotta do the next day, how we gonna do this, how we gonna do that, and all of that plays a part in it.
Hmm.
So it just happened in my sleep. So, but yeah, she did tell me different things, to watch how to slow my breathing down and how to put my mind somewhere else. But it's very hard,
Hmm.
and it seemed like sometimes it gets hard, and sometimes it's like, oh, I got this, like it's cool,
Hmm.
I could do it. But so yeah, so I. But only thing I can tell you is it's a very scary feeling,
Hmm.
and you just feel like dang, I ain't gonna be here. Like I'm like so my in my mind now I think, oh, this is not gonna take me out of here.
Yeah.
This is in and
Because it
everything else.
can.
It can.
Because
It can.
although you're breathing and you're telling yourself, you're thinking to yourself, you're not breathing, you actually are breathing, you
Right.
could in return overdo it or stop actually breathing altogether
Now that
because
has happened before.
you
Yeah.
you panicking and you thinking that you're not breathing, then you stop or whatever. So it can actually take you out of here. Or it can scare you so bad too, you could start having heart problems because you done scared yourself so bad. You got
Mm-hmm.
your heart racing and
Yeah.
all that stuff all fast. So now when you told her all of this, okay, so then that's when she, based on what you was telling her,
Mm-hmm.
that's how she came up with the diagnosis.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so where did she get the PTSD?
PTSD.
PTSD came from because of your age?
No, no,
Oh,
PTSD came from um because I had panic attacks at night. So it's like
oh
I'm
okay.
scared to I can be fine throughout the day,
Mm-hmm.
right? But when it's time to go home and get in the bed, I know it's time for me to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of antsy
Oh,
because I'm thinking, I might have a panic attack. And then some days, it's cool. It's just like with anything else.
okay. So the PTSD is the flashback or the returning of the memory of
Right.
having the panic attack and you thinking about it and you bringing it back up.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's making you have the anxiety because you having the PTSD thinking about it. So it's giving you anxiety
Right.
going towards home. Then You had a panic attack.
Actually going towards home, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's time for me to
Actually
lay down
wind
and go to
down.
sleep, yes, it's like, you know, I don't know. It's just like it's like a trigger. Like you come in the
Okay.
house and you cut the lights on. Well, I don't have to cut the lights on when you come in the house, but some people do. When they
Yeah.
come in the house, they cut the light on so they can see in the
Uh-huh.
house, right? It's the same thing for me. Like when I get in the house and I know it's time to go to sleep,
Uh-huh.
I start getting antsy.
So okay, so let me ask you this. So, okay, so when you coming home and you start thinking about, let's say you're on your way home and you might have a good night the night before, so you might not think about it. It might not trigger you. Nothing happened. Nothing triggered you. Good. Boom. Okay, so what about the nights when you on your way home and you start getting antsy about going home? You had a PTSD starting to trigger. Do you
Right.
take your meds then? Would that help you if you took your meds at that very moment then? Or do you wait till you get home to take your meds? Or do you wait till you're about to have an episode to take your meds? What did she tell you would be
Um,
best?
really, it's up to you. I take a fast reacting one. So if I'm using your scenario, if I'm on the way home and I'm
Mm-hmm.
feeling antsy or whatever, I'll probably try to um put my mind in my calm place.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can do that, then I'm good.
Okay.
If I feel like I can't, then I may take my medication. Um, but at the last resort, I'll try to take my medication, especially because I'm usually taking it before I go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to take it too early because it's like, oh my god, if I take it too early, you know, what if it wears off, or just a
Oh
mental
yeah,
thing,
because with you having to take it twice. So how
right?
long do it last though? For how many hours?
Like 12 hours.
Okay, okay,
Hmm.
okay. So if you on your way home, I mean, I would just think that, to be proactive versus waiting to be reactive. So I would just think, I mean, she said, because due to the fact she said, take it how you see fit.
Hmm.
I would say my suggestion that you would take it soon as you had a thought, or just take it when you know you're heading home so you won't get the thought. Because if it lasts 12 hours, 12 hours should carry you over. Now, do
Right.
it make you sleepy?
No, not
Okay.
at all. It don't make me sleepy at all. And that's
Okay.
another thing. I take like some pills to go to sleep
Oh
because if
Lord.
not,
You
I
tell me
be
something
up.
you don't want nothing that's gonna make you addictive. You taking pills to go to sleep
Yeah,
too?
I take Tylenol PM
So
to go to
now,
sleep.
did she say that you can
Yeah, she said,
flash?
yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah, I told her everything because
Okay.
I wanted to make sure, like, like with my blood pressure medication, just to make sure that
Okay.
nothing, I don't want
Trigger each other
nothing.
back.
Right.
So, okay, so did she say like what else? See, my thing is I want to know, did she mention, or if anyone knows, if anxiety something that's curable? Or is it something that you just got to have for the rest of your life and take a pill for? I know PTSD. I don't know if PTSD can be actually curable because that's something that's embedded usually in your brain or in your mind that triggers and it comes back. It sits in the back and then it
Right.
comes to the forefront
Hmm.
when it wants to. But I'm
Absolutely.
sure there's like a technique or something you can do to keep it from coming to the forefront. But I don't know if it's something that you can do to actually cure it.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that anxiety, like some I have general anxiety. So
So I wonder what kind of anxiety I have.
basically it wasn't from no like massive trauma like
Mm-hmm.
rape or molestation or something like that. So
Right.
um it is, I mean, it can come and go, or not,
But you know what I'm gonna ask you, right?
what
You already know where I'm gonna go, right?
I
So your anxiety is not from when you went to Jamaica?
it may now, to be honest, I did tell her that. I told her that,
Okay.
I went on a trip to Jamaica and I ate a brownie. I was
No.
smoking
Yeah.
ganja, and then I ate a brownie. And then they was
Oh,
like,
big old brownie.
right, and they were telling you, like, don't eat the brownie. But I was hungry, so I didn't realize that, hey, I ate half of the brownie, right?
No, no, no,
So
no, no. You didn't eat half. You ate the whole
I ate
brownie.
the whole brownie. Okay, well, same thing. Needless to say, but yeah, that's what happened. So I told her what happened.
Uh huh.
So when I went to like my second or third session with her, that's when I was telling her that it's like every time when I get hot,
And that's PTSD.
then it's like a trigger. So she
Yeah.
said, well, next time write it down so
Mhm.
that you can remember what it was,
Mhm.
because something like that, it goes back, you know, it normally tells the tale then.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's when I
So
really
basically, she's
got it.
saying it's a story to tell when it happens.
Yeah,
There's a story being told. You
absolutely.
just got to piece it together on what that story is that's triggering you,
Right.
or that cause you to have the triggers, the after effect triggers.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's how it started.
Mm.
You know, it triggered from going to Jamaica, eating a brownie,
You were
and
so
when
high.
when I
We
man,
laughed and we laughed at you. Like, yo, that was so funny. You had everybody scared. Everybody was like, "What in the world?" We was all looking like, "What in the world?" Yo, cause you spazzed out, and I think that affected you too because you was high for like 2 weeks.
I
Yeah, you
was
was high for two
I
weeks.
was high for a long time, and I was just like,
You was high
and
for
that's
two
why I don't
weeks.
do edibles and stuff like that, because you know that stuff hops on you, like it's like you don't have no control.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how that happened. But yeah, so that's what I have, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not afraid to talk about it. I'm not
Right.
afraid to because you have some people that deal with it and then they
Mm-hmm.
don't want nobody to know. But my thing is,
And you know what though, be honest, there are some people maybe not, I don't think as many because here in the last couple of years, especially since COVID, I think that's all I heard people
yeah,
say that they have
that's true.
anxiety
That's true.
or either they have depression. You know, I haven't heard nobody say nothing about PTSD other than, like military or war
Mhm.
people. But not war people, but people that been through war. But since COVID, that's all I've been hearing everybody say is they have anxiety, they experiencing panic attacks, or they're depressed. They've been depressed off and on, da da da.
Mhm.
And I guess that might come from because also, when COVID hit, and they was telling everybody you had to sit in the house for a while, and then some people
Right.
lost their jobs. That's enough to stress you out and make you depressed. And then some people couldn't go to work, but their bills, before they start giving all these financial assistant helps and stuff, like with money or whatever, people was like stressing out trying to figure out what they want to do because nobody knew what was going on. You
Mhm.
get what I'm saying? So we all were just sitting there like, oh, what is that? What happened there? Nobody knew. So that caused a lot of people to have anxiety with not knowing what's going on. So I think that since COVID, a lot of people have been
Right.
experiencing or acknowledging that they're experiencing something different than what they was experiencing
Right.
prior to COVID.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, I'm having this, that, and the third. And everybody's like, I'm having anxiety because for the most part, that's really what it is. You're having a sense of nervousness of not knowing what's going on, or
Mhm.
not knowing what's next.
Yeah. And
For
feeling
the for the
feeling
most part,
uneasy, and
uneasy about it.
yeah, I think yeah, I can go along with that. And then you had a lot of people that were dying or getting
Yeah.
sick, and it was like a lot of uncertainty. So
Yeah.
definitely, but I would just
Yeah,
tell
because during
people,
that time they was blaming everything on COVID.
yeah, absolutely.
Somebody had a heart attack. They said, "Oh, they had a heart attack, but they got COVID." It's like, come on now,
That's because they
everything.
was getting money. They were getting kickback
Oh yeah, they
for
was
seeing
getting.
people.
I forgot how much they was getting too. Though they was getting like 20-some thousand per
Yes,
person that had COVID.
yeah, it was something like that.
So
I
of
don't remember the
course,
number.
everybody in the hospital had COVID. They even had COVID as they was typing that the person had COVID. Everybody had COVID.
Not head COVID, but yeah. So
Hmm.
I would just encourage people, like, if you're feeling uneasy or you're feeling a certain type of way or whatever, definitely seek help.
Yeah,
Talk to somebody about it. Don't be afraid to go to therapy. Don't be afraid to go to your PCP
yeah,
and find out, what's going on with you, because you only, you know, God is good, but you only get one body.
yeah, yeah.
So, and you have to take care of you.
But I think going to a therapist is good though. I think going to a therapist, it releases like a lot that you have sitting on your mental. It releases a lot of stuff off your mind, or things that you not sure on how to handle, things that you're not sure on what to do about, or just things that's been bothering you forever, and you never really actually said anything about it. But you can talk to a therapist, but I just think that you have to have the right therapist. You have to be able to trust that therapist and know that that therapist is professional, because now you have some people that are therapists and they might know their job, but they also might tell all your business too. Let's be real. But I myself, like, I can't, some people like, oh, I know such and such. I wouldn't feel comfortable with me being who I am. I wouldn't feel comfortable going to a therapist that I know.
Right. Yeah.
I just wouldn't feel comfortable because I wouldn't know for sure if they're actually, one, if they're following HIPAA, two, if they really genuinely giving me some sound advice, or they just saying whatever. I just don't know, because sometimes, when you dealing with people that sometimes they might ask you stuff because they already might know the answer, or they might, or something that they might have heard. So you thinking that they asking you questions because this is the technique, and they asking you stuff because they're trying to really get into your business because they want to
Right.
know something. So I just say that get a therapist or someone that you can just meet. They might not know you personally, you don't know them personally, so therefore they don't have no alternative motive.
Ulterior motive.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they don't have that. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
therefore they're actually giving you some sound advice
Right.
because they're not benefiting nothing from it. So they had nothing to lose from it either.
That's that's absolutely true, and I agree with you. I definitely wouldn't go with someone that I know personally,
Mm-hmm.
but I would, it what you said about, you know, going with someone you that you built a trust with first,
Right.
and two, you feel like because some therapists you just go and you just sit on the couch
Yeah, like the first
and
therapist
you
I
just
went to.
cry like,
Oh no, we didn't do that.
and that's what happened to me the first one I went to too. I just cried
So you
like,
felt comfortable with her?
no, I wouldn't say I felt comfortable.
Mhm.
She just would talk and then the floodgate just opened. But
So wait a minute.
I didn't feel like she was effective for me.
So what?
So what happened was she asked me a couple of things, and
Mhm.
before I knew it, I was crying. So she said it was a release. To me, I felt even more heavier when I left.
That's what. Why? Okay, I'm confused. That's not making sense now. I might need to turn to be a third. Let me get my notepad or something. I'm confused because I'm thinking that if you crying, like they say something to you, or whatever, and you able to just release whatever it is you have on your heart or your mind, you will have some level of comfort with them.
No, no, well, I don't know. I
So
know for
and then
me,
for you to say you
it
left out
wasn't that way.
heavier.
I did. When I left out, I felt like I had a cold. I cried so hard, like I cried so bad. And then I just feel like therapists,
Yeah.
like for real, I just think that the first meeting,
Yeah, the first meeting is to see if y'all mix.
but
If they can do it.
I think that you still need maybe like 2 or 3 sessions with that person,
Mhm.
because that first one they're gonna use their normal techniques they use on everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
So basically, what I'm getting from you just in is you needed a therapist for your therapist session.
Absolutely. Because baby, when I tell you I was in there crying, and I didn't. Only she asked me about death. She asked me about my grandma, and she told
Oh
me,
well,
she
yeah,
said
yeah,
that
yeah,
you're still dealing with that.
yeah.
And so I just went. I mean, the floodgates just opened. Like everybody came out. I had a whole family reunion. Like it was
Girl,
like
you
that.
stupid.
So that second, I did go to her one time before after that, but she just wasn't for me. Nothing against her, but she just wasn't for me.
So what happened the second time to make you think that she wasn't for
So when
you?
the second time she picked up where we left off or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but I just didn't feel like I probably didn't give her a chance.
Because she could have picked off because she picked up where y'all left off from the week before, the month before, whatever. She could have picked up from that point because she could see that you still dealing with something, and she wanted to help you release that so you can move that off the table for a minute so she can go to the next part. That could have been a reason too.
That very much could have been, but I just know me, and I
You was
just
like, no,
didn't
I ain't gonna
feel.
sit here and keep crying
I
now.
Nah. Oh, I don't have no problem crying. I just
We
felt
know.
like it just wasn't. I don't think I just come sit in your on your chair every week and just keep crying. Like, what am I doing by keep crying? I get she's saying, it's a release or whatever,
She
whatever,
wants you
and,
to
and over
release it.
time it's gonna be, it's gonna get better. No, you just run up this insurance. Like, you hitting them same codes and telling me the same thing. I have walked out of here and I have yet to figure out how to move past this.
But you didn't give the process time.
And that may be true. So that's why, I'm with somebody else now.
So
It's
when you
fine.
went with the other person, did the other person bring up that situation?
When I went with the other person, I told her over the phone my experience first or whatever. So when I went in, see, I gave her more information because of what I've been through with the first one. I gave this person all the ammunition, right? So when I went in, I did a phone consultation with her first, and then I went in,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was, talking to her, whatever. So she was like writing stuff down and whatever. And she said, well, excuse me, I'm gonna be writing stuff down or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So by the end of the session, she said, well, this is my thoughts or whatever. And I was like, okay, this is homework for you.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me, you had to revisit some things in order to move forward. You have to go back.
That's true. Yeah.
And you have to be willing to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not willing to do the work, you coming here every week or every other week isn't going to help you. You're just going to pacify the situation. So, it was like, okay, I got to put my big girl panties on. I gotta do the work. You know what I'm saying? Even though sometimes I didn't do the work until it was about time for me to go to do the session. But all in all, it was good. And then, she diagnosed me or whatever. And then I didn't accept it at first, whatever. And then we went from there. So
Well, if you
that's what I
felt
meant.
comfortable with her, I would just say, I
Yeah.
just think that you should have gave the first one. Yeah, I get it. You
And the
don't want to
first
say
one,
keep crying.
the first one was a black one, a black lady.
Mm-hmm.
But this second one is a white lady. And then, oh my God, I forgot to tell you. Come to find out, the black lady, she knew my family. Like, she
Oh,
was
she
from
did.
Suffolk. I didn't know her, didn't know her family, anything, but she was asking me different stuff, whatever. I was telling her, she was like, oh my God, and just telling me different stuff,
Oh,
whatever.
so then that was the reason you had to let it go. Yeah.
No, that I
No,
don't know
that was
about
one of the
that,
reasons to
but
let it go. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Suppose you want to get in there and talk about Uncle Joe Bob or something, and she know them.
right.
Yeah, no, next.
I don't know. But either way,
She be like, go to the front and schedule your next appointment. Yeah, I am gonna do that, but I'm gonna call somebody else, not you.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, my therapist, when I first went to her, I felt like it was kind of boring. I felt like it was I did. I felt like it was boring. Um we chit-chatted, but to me I was like waiting for something. I don't know what, but I was waiting for like her to ask a specific question. I don't know what question I was waiting for her to
Right.
ask. I was just waiting for something to happen. And I felt like it was kind of boring because nothing really happened. So I even asked her, well, how about if I lay on the sofa? Because she had a sofa. So I'm like, well, what if I lay on the sofa thinking like, I don't know, maybe I watched too many,
Right.
therapists or something on TV,
Absolutely.
on TV shows or something. I watched too many of them. I don't know, but I was waiting for something. I was expecting her to pull something out of me, right? So that didn't happen the first time. So when I left, I was kind of like, Dad, that was almost like a waste of money. Okay. But I did go back again. So when I went back the second time, we chit-chatted a little more. And she was really nice. She was really nice. Her office was really nice and cozy and relaxing. And I actually went to her maybe like 5 times. But I didn't feel like I really got anywhere. It got to the point the last time I was asking her, do you think I need medication?
Oh gosh.
Like I was trying to figure out, like, what are we doing?
So you going to a professional and then you
yeah, I asked her, did she think I need medication? Well, the visit before the last one is when I asked her, did I need medication? And she was like, no, because I really don't know what's wrong with you. But I had asked her the week before. I said, well, do you think I have a diagnosis? What's my diagnosis?
So you
And she was like,
hold on, let me get this right. So you
no,
wanted something. You wanted some medicine. You wanted
it ain't
diagnosis.
that I wanted something. I
Like,
just
yo,
thought
it's something
that,
wrong with you.
I mean, it may be. I didn't I didn't say I wanted something. I just was looking like I thought something was going to happen, something was going to take place. First of all, when I first went there, she really didn't have a pen and a pad. She let me sit on the sofa, so I'm asking her, should I lay? But I guess that's TV.
Right,
So I'm like, well,
absolutely.
should I lay? And she was sitting there in a chair. It was like a little single chair like this, and she was sitting there with her legs crossed, and all fancy or whatever. Then it got to the point where I'm asking her questions. And I don't know. It was weird. It
Yeah,
was weird. It was really weird because I'm
you
in
do
there.
absolutely too much.
So it was like to the point where we was in there chit chatting like this is my homegirl. Cause
Mm.
now I'm asking her questions. This was first on the first session. I asked her like a couple of questions or whatever. And she answered. And then, I'm asking her, should I lay down when she first came in? She was like looking at me like, she kind of did look at me like, bitch, you crazy. But she was like, it's up to you. And then on the second session, we was chit-chatting, but she wasn't really like really asking me stuff. So I asked her something. And then that's when she was like, well, if it's something you want to tell me, you can just tell me. I was like, so you're not gonna ask? And she was like, really, I'm here to listen to you
Mm.
and give you guidance. Not tell you what you should say or tell you what. I said, well, what about if you ask me some questions? Then I can answer the questions and we can go from there. So, I don't know. But I did go to like 5 sessions. So on the 5th session, that's when I asked her about was she gonna give me some kind of medicine? Has she came up with a diagnosis yet? Because I asked her on the 4th session, did I have a diagnosis? And she was like, no, you don't need any medicine. And she was
Mm.
like, what kind of medicine do you think you need? And I was like, I don't know. But she didn't ever give me a diagnosis. So I didn't go back to her
Well,
because I didn't really know what we was
what
doing.
we're doing. Well, I guess sometimes it's like that. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. But I was just expecting. I don't know. I was expecting her to like really maybe I was expecting her to make me cry or something. I don't know what I was
I knew
really
that was gonna
expecting.
be kind of hard for her.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know because if she would have asked me some questions, it could have been something that she could have triggered the brain back, or I don't know. But she didn't. She was just sitting there, and we like basically was chit chatting. So I was leaving out of there feeling like, oh, damn, we were just chit chatting. I could have called one of my girls and did that. But I mean, she was nice and everything. But I didn't go to her anymore after that. But I did go to another one, and she didn't diagnose me either. So she didn't tell me anything or give me anything.
Well, that's good. You don't have to. You don't, just
But she
because you
didn't
go
really
to a
talk
therapist
and
doesn't
like
mean
she
that
didn't
you.
really talk and tell me something because I feel like because I do like I was just telling you, I've never been officially diagnosed, but I do have like anxiety sometimes. No, do I have it all the time? No, I do not. Have I ever had a anxiety attack with a minor panic with it? No, I have not. But do I sometimes have anxiety because I even told her before about a one moment when I had anxiety um situation. And I was like, I don't know what it is, but like if I'm driving, I can't eat while I'm driving.
Mm.
And she was like, well, have you been in an accident or something like that? I was like, no. She was like, well, have you been driving and you choked before? I was like, no. She was like, well, why do you think that is? I said, I don't know. I was expecting you to tell me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
And when were you was expecting her to tell you?
Yeah, like
But
why would I
well,
have that?
maybe it's something happened when you were younger.
But this is something that just like everything that I'm talking about, like as far as that is something that
No,
just
I'm saying maybe something that happened to you when you were younger
younger
and you
and
don't
it just now
remember.
coming back.
Yeah, and you don't remember what
Yeah.
happened, but that's what. But now is a trigger for
Yeah,
you. Like I don't
because
know. I don't have a
yeah,
diagnosis. I don't
but
know.
now this was like a few years ago, maybe 5, 6 years ago. It started when I would eat. I couldn't eat if I'm driving and I go to bite something or eat on something. it feel like I'm about to gag, like I can't do it. I had to take it off. But now I don't really have that no more because now I would drive and eat. But another time I have anxiety attacks if I go to put on a one piece. If I go to put on a jumpsuit or a one piece, it's like I don't know what's triggering this stuff. But I think I know what the one piece is. It's the sense of being closed because also I can't ride an elevator. But I used to ride elevators all the time. But now all of a sudden I can't ride an elevator. And I told her that. And she said, well, have you ever got stuck in the elevator? No, and I'm scared to do so. I don't want to get stuck in no elevator. I don't know.
I don't
Child.
know, girl. Yeah, you definitely got to find you somebody because you got a lot of stuff going on too.
Yeah, I
You
do.
got a lot going on too. But
I do.
I'll just say like with anybody, again, if you feeling certain type of way or you feeling, like you're not how you used to be, definitely watch yourself, write stuff
Mhm.
down, and talk to somebody or contact somebody and
Mhm.
get some help because when you know better, you do better. So
That's true.
that's the thing about that. And don't be afraid to talk to somebody. I know like we all have these images we want to uphold or whatever, but
Mhm.
I'm telling you, when you experience something like that, you don't care like well, I know me. I don't care who knows, who sees or whatever.
Mhm.
I'm gonna try to hold as much as I can, but if I can't, like I need some help. So
That's one thing about you. You will cry in front of anybody.
absolutely.
And
Yeah, but
you would
but you know
say
what
and you would
though?
share that in front of anybody. That you will do. And that's one thing I would say, like
I'm in touch
you don't
I'm in
worry
touch
about.
with my emotions, very
Yeah.
much so.
Mm-hmm.
But
You are.
so don't try to come for me, Miss Go Getter. Like
Oh, no, 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 no. I mean, everybody knows that. They didn't see it, but I'm just saying that you don't. When you was just talking about, don't worry about an image or just, if you feel in a certain kind of way, whatever. That's what I'm saying. You don't worry about none of that.
no.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what though? But when I've had panic attacks, I haven't cried.
Oh,
It wasn't
really?
like I was crying, like uncontrollably, anything like that. It's just that I couldn't.
So about when you have the actual panic attack attached to the anxiety, what do you actually do? What are some of the techniques that you have learned during your experience where you can actually like bring yourself back together?
One, I try to calm down. I try to go to my happy place again,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll pray.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when I pray or when I call on Jesus or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
it has intensified.
Really?
Yeah, so I was like, "Oh devil,
So
like
that's the
you,
devil.
like devil, like not today. Like
Mm-hmm.
you ain't not today, or
Mm-hmm.
this is not gonna be me." I have read the Bible like
Mm-hmm.
on my phone.
Do you find those things help? And if so,
When I read the
which
Bible, I go to
one?
sleep. So it's like,
So the Bible relaxes you, it calms
yeah, it
you.
does, it does,
Because
it
now
does.
you're able to go to sleep because you
Yeah.
say your panic attacks always happen when you're either going to sleep, trying to go to sleep, or you already sleep. So
Hmm.
therefore, if you read the Bible and you go to sleep, that means the main one that helps is reading the Bible.
Right.
And maybe that is the attention that God's trying to have you give so you can read the Bible. Because if that's the only time you're really going to sit and read the Bible is when you in a panic attack, then that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, and then
So
too,
maybe you need to try reading the Bible before you go to sleep.
right, and that's absolutely true. I have like Googled different scriptures or whatever dealing with
Mm-hmm.
anxiety or dealing with different stuff. So if something should happen, then
Mm-hmm.
that's what I go to.
Mm-hmm.
So, but now I listen to like music that you hear like when you go get a massage, stuff like that or whatever.
Oh, like the elevator
Mm-hmm.
music stuff.
Or gospel, like gospel music.
Is it
And
helping?
yeah, and then sometimes, sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. Just I guess it just depends on.
Well, sometimes the listening to the music's help, and sometimes
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
But so the one of the techniques that you say you use on your own that you say for sure work is reading the Bible.
Yeah, I definitely go to sleep. Yeah, I eventually go to sleep. I mean, before I know it, yeah, I'm asleep in
Oh,
this
then that's
morning.
what you need to do before you go to sleep.
Yeah. Or
So then when you sleep, you covered.
Oh yeah, I'm covered anyway. But I,
No,
I
I'm
just
saying
I just feel
reading the
like
Bible so
it's
you can be extra covered then, because you might be covered, but then it's what something's waking you up,
right,
so it's uncovering you. You think?
right.
So maybe read the.
I'm not gonna say it's
So no, I
uncovering me.
ain't saying
No,
you uncovered because you still covered because you still here. But I'm just saying that there's something that's triggering and waking you up. So maybe if you read the Bible first, take your meds, then read the Bible, and the Bible gonna relax you, whatever you're
right.
reading, and puts you to sleep.
I mean, that may be
And then
true.
maybe you get
I
that
know,
extra
like
cover. How about
sometimes I
that?
think it's God get my attention on certain
Mm-hmm.
things. Like so it's like some days I know, some days I don't. So it's like a battle. I just know that like if I do have a panic attack or something like that, I'd be so tired.
You do?
I be
It drains you?
yes, I be like real tired. So like sometimes I be like, God, like this is ridiculous. Like this is too much. And then like I just want to just rest or sleep or whatever the
Mm-hmm.
next, for a while or whatever. But yeah, it tires me out because it's like my brain is fighting against my I ain't even gonna say my heart, like because it be giving like palpitations or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But I'll just say the mind is very is a strong thing. It's a
Mm-hmm.
strong organ. Like if it's an organ, I don't know what it's called, but um your your mind, you have to think positive things. You have to do what you need to do to survive, or do what you need to do to keep pushing another day. And people look at you and they be like, oh, you got it together or everything. You never know what a
Yeah.
person that's the reason for this episode for real, because you never know what a person going through. Somebody can look at you and be like, oh, okay, you may not be um worried about finances or kids or relationships or whatever, but whatever my vice is my vice,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not bigger or smaller than yours.
Mm-hmm.
So with me, it's like sometimes I can't even put it into words. I just know that you never know what a person going through.
Mm-hmm.
So you just don't look at a person and sum them up thinking you have them made out, because you don't know. So
That's true.
every day is a good day. Just keep pushing, keep doing what you need to do for you, and making sure that your mental is good, because you're only a hair from being on the other side. And that's why like you gotta be careful
What other
joking and
side?
like from your mind
Oh
being
yeah.
not
What
normal
did
for
I say
you.
on the post? You're only a snack and a smack away.
I don't even think it's a snack. Definitely yeah.
By the time you eat a snack, you can be gone.
Yeah, that's
Man can be
absolutely
gone.
true.
People like, oh, they just lost their mind. But then again, it's like my thing is as well as like, how do you know if we are in our right mind? How
That
do you really know if they're not really in a we say, oh, they done lost their mind. How do we know that their mind just isn't just strong and more advanced than our mind? I mean, it's like because we all can really be on that side real easily.
yeah, that's
Easily.
that's absolutely true. And that's why I say like for you, like
Hmm.
reality for me is different from reality for you.
Exactly.
What's known for me may not
Might
be
not be
known for
normal.
you.
Exactly.
So that's why
But
I tell
whatever
people
your
like be
reality
careful.
is what's your
Yeah,
normal.
absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, y'all. So just do what you need to do.
Yeah.
Just keep pushing and be mindful that people out here going through some things, and everybody process things how they process them
Mm-hmm.
differently. And respect that. Someone says PTSD, depression, anxiety are really hard to deal with. If you have a permanent solution to that using what's that
Psychological.
no
Oh.
healing, get in touch with Zara Healing on Instagram. Psychedelic, I think that is healing.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, so whatever it is you need to do for you, do it, and make your life better as
Yeah.
much as possible.
Yeah, it will.
So anything before we wrap
So
up?
I'll just say that, maybe you need to try new techniques. If on your way, when you on your way home or whatever, and it's about to pop in your mind, pop a pill before it can get all the way to the front. Soon as start popping in the back and start traveling towards the front, take a pill. Or pull out your Bible and start reading the Bible, or think of your favorite scripture in the Bible and start quoting your favorite scripture and see if that works for you and relaxes you. Everybody has something different. Like when I feel like I'm about to have anxiety, I instantly go and think about the beach. My mind instantly goes to water. Instantly. And I be like, oh, okay. But that might be why she didn't diagnose me either, because I can bring it back myself and some people can't.
Right.
So that could be a reason why I wasn't diagnosed, because she's like, okay, you might just be having a sense of nervousness or something for whatever reason, but I don't know. But yeah, she didn't diagnose me, and I was confused about that. But anywho,
Yeah.
because I know there was a med too that helped you lose weight. Maybe she knew I wanted that because she saw I was a little thickums. You think that's what it was? Because what's the med that helped you lose weight? I did ask her about that though, and that might have been why I asked her what was the name of it. But anyway, I just think that, whatever works, whatever technique you can come up with, because I know some other people that I had talked to about it, they said they can bring theirs back down too. But then I know some people that can't. But I know I can actually bring mine back down. My mind instantly go to water, but I don't know what my anxiety is related to. I just know some things that I panic. Well, I ain't even gonna say panic. Excuse me. Let me take that word back, because I don't. I know some things that I do that make me feel like, oh no, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I get real antsy about it. And that's putting on a one piece like a jumpsuit or something, having to get on the elevator, and it was driving and eating at the same time. Those are the three things that I know I used to have anxiety. Well, the jumpsuit I still do. And the elevator I still do. I have anxiety issues with. You know?
Mm.
I know you about to say something smart.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm not
You
sure
about
about
to
to
say
say
something.
nothing smart. No,
You like,
my mind was somewhere else. But yeah. So whatever it is you need to do for you,
Mhm.
let's get it done.
Mhm.
And any other? Oh, I made a post the other day about, and I asked people about anxiety. A lot of times when I make posts on Wait Again a Minute,
Mhm.
it's not about me. It's not about you. It's not about just like general conversation or whatever. But I asked the other day because it was pertaining to me, and
Mhm.
people gave me some good advice, and I've actually used that. I think it was like
Oh, what was the
Tuesday.
post? I think I missed that one.
About like how do you deal with anxiety and stuff like that. What like what
Okay.
do you do?
So what were some of the
So
things
they
people
was like,
said?
some people said they first of all, I was surprised at the amount of people that responded
Yeah, because I was
that
talking to a lot
actually
of people.
deal with it. So
Yeah.
they were saying, of course they were saying, eat an edible or drink, or some people said read the Bible or count
Yeah.
backwards, 100 backwards, or different scriptures, or
Oh, now
exercise,
that one
cleaning
I
up.
have heard the count 100 backwards. I have heard that one before. Matter of fact, I think when I had that session with the first therapist, I
Hmm.
want to say I think she said that. That was
Yeah.
something that she had said. I guess because by the time you count 100 backwards, by the time you probably get to about 70, you be like, wait a minute, where was I at? And you pretty much over that because you trying to figure
Yeah,
out.
because it's putting you, because you're
Right,
you're not
right,
you're not thinking about
right.
that anymore. You're thinking about what you're doing.
What you doing?
So they were saying about cleaning, exercising, different stuff. So it was good to get different
Mm-hmm.
um examples from other people or
Because they
whatever.
say
Because
exercising to release the stress, and sometimes stress can cause your anxiety when you
Mhm.
stressing too. And they
And
say
not eating
exercise,
properly,
right?
not
Mm-hmm.
eating properly, drinking caffeine and stuff like that.
Oh
It
yeah,
it
definitely
plays it
caffeine.
plays it plays a part in it. So
My
I
doctor
got to
told me
take,
that caffeine would do it.
ownership, what I'm saying too. But yeah, so that's it. Anything else you want to talk about before we go?
Nope, that's it. Well, that's what's talk about something else.
Oh no. Mm-mm.
Oh, because I forget. So when you keep saying that, I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
being
did
that
I
you're
say
getting
that?
older, you might need one of them memory pills. So anyway, with that being said, y'all, make sure that y'all tune in every Thursday, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, and we would need you to share this episode. Like, um, yeah,
Yeah,
share it.
share the episode. Cause you said like you gonna say like what?
I don't know.
We just need y'all to share this episode because you never know who might need to hear what or who might need to read what some of you guys might have said, or have some advice. You just don't know. So just share the episode. Matter of fact, just share all the episodes. Just go back through the whole thing. Just share. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you.
And with that being said, stay tuned to Wait Again Minute.
See you next week, 7 p.m.
Good night.